I also share, free information that I have on my website that people don't. I don't even know if you guys know, but I have a whole like free ebook about 5 ways to heal and be free from people pleasing. Yeah, I know, Amber. I'm super excited. I also share videos because I know sometimes like you may not see my videos like with the algorithm. So I just wanted to make sure that you guys did know I did jump on the broadcast wagon. I jumped on the broadcast wagon. You can join my channel. And one of the reasons why I wanted to tell, hey Maisha, how you doing? Thank you for joining. Thank you everyone who's coming in. I wanted to make sure that you guys join my broadcast because I am grateful for this platform. I'm grateful for the fact that you follow me and allow me to support you on your healing journey. And I'm turning it up a notch. I'm turning it up a notch in 2024. My new book is coming out. It's going to be entitled Healing Doesn't Look Like That. It should be out probably in April or May. And I really want to start having more live interaction. So a couple of weeks ago, hey Christina, I sent out a Zoom link to everybody that was in my broadcast channel, and we all met for the night and we talked about 3 ways we can kickstart our healing journeys. And we talked about boundaries. We talked about ways that we can set boundaries without being like angry or feeling shame or guilt. And it was really just a great conversation. And I really want to do more live stuff because I enjoy talking to you guys on this platform. But I just feel like it doesn't give the freedom I would like to have to like be able to, just have like more organic conversations, where you're able to ask me questions, I can answer them, you can meet other people. Last time I did a Zoom call, there was literally like 12 people, everybody in different parts of the world. And it's like you really can see that you're not the only person trying to figure out how do I stop people pleasing? How do I stop, operating in this codependent way? Because I think a lot of times we like assume that we're the only ones dealing with something. And when we isolate in that way, that increases the feelings of hopelessness. It increases the feelings of like, am I ever going to not deal with this? And it just overall creates an experience where you feel like you're the only one, like we put ourselves in this little box, right? So my goal is to help you see that you are not the only one. I've been a recovering codependent now for 9 years. The same steps that I talked to you about, the same principles I talked to you about, I'm actually out here doing it for myself. Like, I'm your guinea pig right now. And when I tell you, setting boundaries changed my life. It changed my life. I was really able to see that I was allowing other people's drama, other people's life to dictate how my life was going to be. I didn't know how to center my own self. I didn't even know who I was. In my mind, I was a helper. I was the mediator. I was all these roles that people had given me. And, people praise us for helping them, for always being supportive. And so we really start to believe this is who I am. This is my gift. And what I want you to know is being supportive and being helpful is your gift, yes. And it's helpful for the people that you're sharing it with, but that's not who you are. You're not here to only be the support to other people. You're not here to only help other people. Like, you're not here to only be consumed with other people's lives and not your own. Like, God has a whole purpose for your life, but you're never going to be able to walk in that if you don't take a break and acknowledge that your life is out of control. And I know that may be hard. Hey, G-Jack, how are you? Good to see you. I know that's hard to hear. You know, it was hard for me. I don't know if you guys here know my story, but like when I went to my first codependency meeting, the very first, so if you've ever been to a CODA meeting, you know, let me know in the chat if you want to, because I know that's something you may want to keep private. But when you first go to a codependency meeting, the very first lesson that they have is about denial. Like, it's about you, like, living in this fantasy world of you being helpful, you being kind and empathetic, and being okay with pretty much like helping everybody and not helping yourself. Amber said, I remember your story from when I first followed you, and you really put in work. Love what you share. Thank you so much. Yeah, G-Jack said for many of us, it's a distraction. It is. It's a distraction. And thank you, Amber, for your thoughts. I appreciate you and your words. And I was just sitting there like, I was upset. I was angry. I was like, okay, I came to this group for help, and now I feel like they're judging me. I feel like this group is labeling me. And I was like sitting there, and I was watching other people share their stories about how they felt used, abused, how they've been in denial about, oh, hey, how you doing, T? Thank you for joining. Hey, sis, thank you for joining. I was watching all these people, right? Like, and they were just sharing their stories. They were crying. They were like, yes, you know, like, I'm powerless over my life. My life has become unmanageable. And I was looking at them like they had three heads. I'm like, what are y'all talking about? Like, I thought we were here to like get solutions of like how we could stop this, right? Little did I know the solution was me. The issue was me. And my lack of self-esteem to know that I didn't have to live that type of life. My lack of setting boundaries. I didn't even know what boundaries were, right? Saying no to me felt like a bad thing to do, especially if I was in a position to actually help people and essentially live my own life. It's like they was using terms I didn't even know what people were talking about. I was like, live your own life. What are they talking about? Of course we live in our own life. I get up every day, I go to work, like, you know, like I have my friend group, I have my family, I'm living my own life. I had no idea that by me always making myself available to help people, always making myself available to like guide people in their life, that was taking away time from my own life. And so it was like a whirlwind, right? And I just share that to say, like, I know what it's like to be in that whirlwind when you're trying to figure out, how do I really heal from this? Like, if I need to be healed, then what does that healing look like? And essentially, healing from codependency involves two things. It involves you first acknowledging that you are not the center of your own life. And then it involves you putting in action. Healing requires action. What action steps are you going to take? There will be times when you're healing from codependency and everybody you know is mad at you, they're disappointed with you, and they may even be trying to shame you for, let me move these braids out of the way. They may even be trying to shame you for the changes that you're making. How are you going to handle that? You know what I'm saying? How are you going to deal with it? How are you going to get to a place where you say no and you are comfortable knowing that this is the best decision for you? It takes a while to get there. And so I just want to encourage you to join my community. You know, I started my broadcast. I started doing more with my Facebook group, and I really want to turn my Facebook group more into like a more interactive platform. Hey Tia, how are you? Hey F3, thank you for joining. I really want to turn these platforms into more of an opportunity to build community. So I said, okay, I'm gonna turn it up a notch. Everybody that joins my broadcast group, we gonna have live interaction via Zoom because I feel like that's better than us being here, right? And yeah, you can type your response and I'll read it, or if you have a question, you can put it in here and I'll read it. But the main thing I want to be able to do is actually answer your questions and make sure you get the help you need, because healing from people pleasing and codependency has so many levels. It has so many levels to it. It's like every single time I achieve something in my healing journey, I be thinking I'm done. Like when I completed the 12-step codependency group, I was like, cool, I'm done. And then I was like, well, no, now I have to learn how to use the steps. Then when I started using the steps, like, okay, I'm going to set the boundaries. I'm going to learn how to say no. I'm going to blah, blah, blah. Then I was like, okay, cool, I'm done. You're not done. Because guess what? In order for you to set so learning how to say no and set boundaries, that's just one level. But if you want to be able to have healthy communication, that's a whole nother level with it. Being able to set a boundary in love and then sit there and see somebody yelling at you or sad with you or shaming you, and you are just sitting there or standing there, and then when they get done, you say, I could tell you're upset right now. I'm sorry that this boundary is making you feel this way, but this is the best thing I need to do for me. Know that I love you. Know that I care about you. Is there something else that I can do that you would feel like you are supported? Oh, thank you, sis. Yeah, it's just no makeup today. I guess they got good sunlight in here. But being able to say that's a lot. I wasn't able to do that 5 years ago. 5 years ago, somebody started yelling at me, or getting upset with me. The first thing I would say is, oh, they don't respect my boundaries. They're gaslighting me. I'm not going to tolerate this. This is emotional abuse. And then I would just cut the person off, and then I would label that as healing. Oh yeah, I cut her off. I cut him off. I'm not dealing with that. And so I did that for a long time, and where cutting people off left me was by myself every Friday night in my house, eating Lay's potato chips and Haagen-Dazs ice cream, watching old episodes of Living Single and 227. It was no phone calls. I would be looking at my phone, y'all, and it just be crickets. And I'll be on Facebook, and I'll be seeing everybody going out, and I'll be like, damn, what happened? Well, Tanisha, what happened was your boundaries was too strong, sis. So guess what I had to do? I had to have conversations with all those people. I had to call them. I had to text them. I had to tell them, like, you know what? I care about you. I want to spend time with you. I just didn't have the words to say, I don't like when you act like this, or I don't like when you say this. I love you. You are my friend, or you are my brother, or you are my sister, whoever the person is, or you my partner. But when you do this makes me feel XYZ. That's a whole nother level of healing. Sis said me. Yeah, we be thinking that we setting the boundaries, right? Because I'm just like y'all. When I first started this journey, all I had was God. I was going to therapy, but therapy was getting expensive. It was like $130 a session. And I was just like, well, what else can I do? So it's like I jumped on social media and I started following people. I highly encourage y'all, If you don't do nothing else for your healing journey, please make sure you buy Codependent No More by Melody Beattie. I'm going to put her name in the comments. Melody Beattie is the queen, of codependency. She is fire. If I ever get an opportunity to meet this woman, I know I will start crying because her book saved me. Another good one is Iyanla Vanzant. Buy her book. What's it called? Peace from Broken Pieces. Man, that book is so good. It is so good. It changed my life and really helped me on my journey. So I was trying to figure it out, just like y'all. And when I finally went to the codependency groups, which were free, by the way, it gave me some guidance. I was like, okay, cool. So these are the steps, right? And all the steps involve me going deeper within myself. And that was scary. It was scary because I had to sit with myself and say, yeah, you know what? I don't know how to communicate. I don't know how to set boundaries. I do get triggered easily, right? Some of us, do we even know what our triggers are? It took me a long time. And I want you to know something. When we get triggered by stuff, we spend a lot of time getting upset and getting angry with the people that are initiating those responses. But a trigger really means that hurt and pain is already there. It's been there. People were triggering the abandonment and rejection that was created by my mama and my dad. And so here I am yelling at people, getting upset with people. And this is an old wound from years ago. And I was in therapy and it just hit me one day, like, you know what? I could talk about this all day, but this requires action. And I was reading Iyanla Vanzant's book, that Peace from Broken Pieces, and then I also bought her book about forgiveness. And in the book, she was talking about writing letters or like talking to the people that we feel like have wronged us. And they talk about that in Celebrate and the CODA groups too. They talk about like you doing an assessment, like accountability, and talking to the people that you feel like have wronged you and tell them what they did. Now, when I did that with my mom, she was upset and she was making a lot of excuses, but it just felt good to get it out. It felt good to say, when you said this, it made me feel like this, you hurt me, or I feel like I give you everything and it's still not enough, or even with my dad, it's like I was able to say, like, where were you my entire life? I needed you. I had to figure out things on my own. Like, I had to protect my own self because you wasn't here. I don't know what type of partner I should be looking for because I've never gotten any guidance. So now I'm just out here getting my heart broken left and right to the point where I don't even want to date no more. Like, I had to have these hard conversations with the both of them. And once I did it, I felt a lot better. Sometimes, we can't necessarily have the conversation. So I encourage you to think about writing a letter. You may write the letter and then decide to not even give it to them. It's up to you. But it's really just about you getting out what's going on so that you know what your triggers are. Because there's power in knowing the triggers. Because once you know what the triggers are, you no longer trip off of the situations that are currently happening. Say, for example, it's like, I'm not in this dating experience that I'm in. It's been interesting, y'all. It's been very interesting. But in spite of everything going on, I don't really be tripping off the guys. It's like when one don't call me back, all right, you didn't call me back, or one of them says something that don't make no sense. I'm like, all right, not going out with him again. And it's really helping me because I'm like, this don't have anything to do with them, Tanisha. This is about you. Like, you're being triggered because you don't feel like any of these people can love you the way that you really deserve to be loved, but you can love yourself until you find the right person. It don't have to be an end-all be-all situation. I highly, highly encourage time in solitude by yourself. It could be 1 hour a day. It could be 4 hours once a week. You could take yourself out on a date. And, you know, I have my last podcast episode. My podcast is called Moments of Reflection. You can find it pretty much on any platform except Apple. I don't have an Apple phone. I got Android, so I need to create like an Apple account and all that crazy stuff, y'all. So I still ain't on Apple yet, but I'm working on it. But I'm on every other platform: iHeart, Spotify, Google Podcasts, all of them, right? So the last episode, I was talking about how we can start to date ourselves and just giving examples. It's like you can wake up in the morning, fix yourself like a nice breakfast, watch your favorite TV show, take a nap or something. That could be your date. That could be your solitude time, right? Now, if you really want to kick it up, you can research something that you've always wanted to do and then go do that. Wake up that morning, take you a nice hot shower, make you a nice breakfast, or like DoorDash you a nice breakfast, or go somewhere if you want to and eat, and then you go do that activity that you want to do. And I know this sounds crazy to some people that have never done this, but what happens is you get to be with yourself. It's like when we spend time taking ourselves out. Hey Katina, how are you? When we spend time taking ourselves out, it's like you get an opportunity to see how you really are, to see what you like, what you don't like. You meet new people. It's like nobody is around to take care of you or for you to take care of. So you truly can operate in a way of like, okay, I really have to be with me. It's like that's how we get to know ourselves. That self-awareness helps us on our healing journey, because now we understand our triggers. When we get feedback from people about how we are, we no longer saying stuff like this person crazy or they don't know what they talking about. We really are evaluating it. Like we really are evaluating, okay, well, am I bossy? Am I angry? Do I yell at this person? I remember I had somebody tell me, they was like, because that I don't like driving right at night. And I remember I had a friend that told me, everywhere we go, you know, you always want me to drive. And I said, you know what, you're right, because I'm scared to drive at night. So I wonder if maybe we could do some stuff in the daytime so that I can drive, and then if it gets dark while we there, do you mind driving back? Or can we do stuff in the daytime and maybe I pick you up and then we go out, you know? And because I was just transparent with her, she was like, oh girl, is that what it is? Well, that's okay, like I'll drive or whatever. So it's like it takes that self-awareness, takes some of the pressure off of us to like always be defensive. And then we get angry and we get upset, when in reality it may just be a moment where we want somebody to support us, right? Or we want somebody to take care of us. Hey River, thank you for joining. Or we want somebody to take care of us. So it's like when we start to get to a space of understanding who we are, what we need, and then walking in that self-awareness, it then helps us be able to communicate our needs to people, right? Because say, for example, if I would have said, I'm scared to drive at night, and I'm sorry that you always have to drive, and then that friend turn around and say, well, you need to stop being scared at night because that's not fair to me and woo-woo-womp. See, then I know okay, this is a friend that can't meet my needs. This is a friend that is complaining about a space that I'm sitting in that I'm still trying to heal, I'm still trying to work through. They don't see, right? They don't see the other things that I bring to this relationship, right? Outside of the fact that I don't drive at night. They don't see the time and the energy that I pour into them in different ways, in different ways, right? So then when we see that, that's what helps us set the boundaries. Because I'm like, okay, cool. If she would have said that, then my next thought would have been, well, let me move your piece on the chessboard then, because you no longer get priority if you're not somebody that can also support me, right? So that means like, all right, cool. If you ain't cool with the fact that I don't like driving at night, then maybe I don't need to see you at night. Maybe I don't need to go to the concerts with you. Maybe I don't need to go hanging out at your house, because this is the season that I'm in, right? And you telling me now that you can't support me. So it's like us being self-aware of our triggers and our needs, and then finding healthy ways to like communicate that with people. It disrupts that pattern of us being in friendships and intimate relationships, or even like relationships with family members and friends for a year, for 2 years, for 3 years, for 10 years. And this whole time we in this relationship angry, feeling unappreciated, feeling unworthy because this person is not meeting our needs. So it's like, that's the power of when you do your healing work. When you do your healing work, you're not operating like that. It's not taking you 3-4 years to figure out this ain't the person that should have been your friend, or this ain't the family member that you should have got closer to, or this isn't the relationship that you should be in. While I've been out here dating, I've been cutting folks in 2-3 weeks. And I've been mad about that. I had to give myself grace, because I was like, damn, Tanisha, it took you a whole month to see that he was on some foolishness. And then I was journaling that night, and I said, no, Tanisha, we not shaming ourselves. We not walking in that, because we remember when it would take 4 or 5 years. It would take 2 years for you to see that you shouldn't be rocking with somebody. So we not operating in that. That's what I had to remind myself of. River said, facts, listen. Like, we're not operating in that. And I want the same thing for you. So I feel like I'm long-winded. I'm going to shut up. Plus, I think this Starbucks is getting ready to close in like 15 minutes. But I just wanted to say that I started the broadcast. I'm really excited, about supporting you more on your healing journey. If you have not joined my broadcast, I encourage you to do so. It might be telling you in your feeds that I've started a broadcast, but if it hasn't, you can go to my page and join the broadcast from there. And every single day, I give like encouragement, tips and facts. I give videos, and most importantly, we're gonna start getting serious, about healing. I want to help you get serious, and my commitment to you is because, first, I'm just super thrilled that you chose to hit that follow button and follow me, because you could have followed any other person to help you on this journey. And then second, I gave a vow to God that I was going to help people in a much stronger way. I didn't start this really because of money. I started this because of me. I wanted to give me a chance. Me and you are very similar. I was always pouring words of affirmation into family and friends. And one of my friends was like, Tanisha, you should write a book, or put this stuff on a page or something. And I was like, what, girl? Start a page? How I'm gonna start a page? Don't nobody care care what I got to say. And she was like, Tanisha, you be dropping some real gems to me that help me every day. And I was like, wow. And so I started this page like 4 years ago. And here we are. It's like 10,000 followers later. So I thank you guys for what you're doing. And it just really showed me that this is my gift. And it was funny because today, I guess I almost got into a car accident. I don't know how to label it, but I was driving and I made a quick right because I was getting ready to miss my turn, and I swerved on the ramp. And then my laptop bag that's normally in the back was in the front seat. It hit my steer shift, and I got slammed into neutral. And then I was just like spinning like on the ramp. And I was crying and I was screaming, and I just took a deep breath. And, I finally was able to like hit the gas. I put the car like in drive, and then I was able to steer myself off the ramp, right? And it was funny because in that quick moment, I was thinking about God and I was thinking about praying, but I was so scared that I couldn't get any words out. And so when the car finally stopped, I was just saying, thank you, Jesus, thank you, Jesus. And I said, I understand now. I understand now. I'm not going to be here. We're not here for a long time. We're here for a short time. And I'm just grateful that nobody was behind me, and I was really able to like get back on the road. And I told myself, I was like, you know what? I'm going harder. I'm going harder in 2024. And these platforms are a blessing, but my goal is to get you off of this platform and us really be able to have conversations. And I decided that the best way to do that was to start the broadcast. And like 60 people already joined the broadcast, but I was like, I'm gonna start dropping Zoom links in the broadcast, so that if you want to turn your camera on, you can. But even if you don't feel like turning your camera on, at least I can hear your voice and I can answer your questions, right? Thank you, sis. I'm happy. I am too. T said, yes, T. It was very scary. I mean, it was very scary. I was like, what in the world? And like, it was so hard to grip the wheel. And then when I looked at the gear shift, I was like, it was in neutral. No wonder. But I just knew. And then it was like a little ramp. It wasn't like a long cliff. It was a short cliff. But I was like, I could have easily fell off that cliff. And yeah, like, I wouldn't have like died or nothing probably, but my car would have been stuck and I probably would have been like injured for sure. So I'm just thankful it's okay. I'm thankful like I'm okay. Nobody was behind. And it was like the peak of the morning. It was like maybe 10:30. And it was a pretty busy, it's a pretty busy ramp. The people that are from the Bay Area, so I was getting off at Orinda, and I was that ramp is kind of like curved real deep, and I hit it real quick because I was getting ready to miss it, and I hit it too quick and I swerved, and then when my bag hit the steering wheel, it was just over. Like I couldn't get a hold of the car, and it was really, really scary, but eventually I did. And I made it. So, but yeah, it was a close call. But I'm thankful to be here. And it's funny because things like this should scare me. And that's how you know, right? Like when it's the power of God, because it's like things like this should scare me. But the first thing I said is, this is a reminder that I'm not always going to be here, and I want to leave my mark. I want to leave my mark. To be able, whenever I pass away, to be able to know that your life changed, that thousands of other people's life changed because of me, that's just powerful, man. Because I thought I was nobody. You know, I spent the first 35 years of my life thinking like nobody cared about me. Nobody like just desired to hear nothing I had to say. And when y'all like bought my book, it just blew my mind. When you even hit the follow button, that blew my mind. Every day I wake up like, wow, I got 10 new followers. I got 20 new followers. Like, I guess I'm really saying something that connects to people. So, but anyway, they about to close and I don't want people to, to run me up out of here. But know that I love you and know that I'm excited. I know, sis, it was crazy, but I'm here. But know that I'm really excited about continuing to support you. I'm going to be much more careful on the road, trust and believe. I'm going to pay attention to where I'm going and watch the road. But please go ahead and sign up for my broadcast if you haven't already. And I look forward to seeing you in the next live. Sis said, go hard. You got this. Oh, thank you. Yes, I'm excited. I'm excited about my journey and I'm excited about supporting you in yours. So I will see you next time. Bye. Don't forget to join the broadcast. Bye.